Welcome back to my channel and a very special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen and this is Jen Clayton Beauty. We do everything beauty and makeup, and that includes testing new makeup. And today we are testing out 4 new products. I'm very excited to try these out. These came in beauty subscription boxes. I believe it was my Icon box from Ipsy. Yes, all 4 products came from that. So if you're excited, give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not, turn your bell on because I upload lots and lots of new videos every single week. I will link the 4 items that we're testing out together today down below for you if you're interested in picking them up. Any discount codes, all of that information will be in the description box, as well as my favorite beauty subscriptions, including Ipsy, where these products came from, discounts to my favorite indie brands, and all of the other makeup that I'm wearing today. So let's talk about the 4 products we're testing out. I'll zoom you in and we'll get started. Like I said, all 4 of these products came from my Ipsy Icon box from May. The first thing is the Natasha Denona bronze palette. Now, I have a lot of Natasha Denona, but it's hard for me to spend the $70 on a palette. So when I saw that this was coming in my Ipsy box, I was very, very excited because this is actually a palette from Natasha Denona that I don't have. Now, this is a very neutral palette, but I love that it's warm toned because I love warm tones. On my particular skin coloring, I think warm tones are great. I also like cool tones as well, but I definitely gravitate a little bit more towards warm tones. I also appreciate that there was a pop of purple in a shimmer and then a deeper, darker kind of purple brown. And then everything else, like I said, is just a very warm tone neutral. Now, as expected, this swatched beautifully. As always with Natasha Denona, the matte, buttery smooth, the shimmers were actually really beautiful. There's only 4 mattes in the palette, and the rest are shimmers. So I'm excited to try this out, do a little bit of a warm tone neutral look, and we can't be mad to get this in an Ipsy box because this more than pays for the entire box. And then I also received a Kosis Blush. Now I went ahead and applied this today when I did my base makeup. This is in the shade Hype. Now this is one of their Blush is Life. It's a little bit more of a glowy illuminating blush. I have another shade from Kosis and I really, really like it. The one I have is a little bit more corally orange, and this is definitely a little more true pink. This applies beautifully. It is not overly pigmented, but it builds up. So I was able to build it up and get some really pretty flush of color. Now I did use a highlighter, but because this is a glowy blush, if you prefer a little bit more natural look, not a highlighter look, this will give you both a blush and highlight vibe. Went on beautifully, blended out beautifully, absolutely enjoyed this. Then from the brand Pear Nova, this is an Eye Duo Stick Shadow and Liner. Now there's 2 different liners in here. One end of this is a liner, one end of this is a shadow stick. We are going to try at least one of these out today. These did not have very good reviews, and I am definitely not a shadow stick girl. So I don't know if I'll use the shadow stick or just the liner, but we will definitely test these out and I will swatch these for you so you can see what these look like. And last but not least, from Rodial, is it Rodial or Rodial? We have a lip oil. Is there a shade? I don't see a shade on here, but Rodial is a very, very expensive brand, and we did get a lip oil, and I love lip oil, so I'm really excited to test this out as well. So let me zoom you in. Let's go ahead and pop this lip oil on for the duration of our video, and then we'll get started on our eye look with the Natasha Denona Bronze Palette. So let's go ahead and test out this lip oil. It has a very light kind of coconut scent. Vanilla coconut. It smells really good. This feels really nice on the lips. Very hydrating. It's very, very silky smooth. It's not sticky at all. I cannot stand a sticky lip oil. Yeah, it feels really nice. So let's keep it on, see how it lasts while we do our eye look, and then I'll give you a wear test at the end of the video, but I like it. It's definitely my lips, but better. There's not a lot of color to it, so that makes it great to wear over a matte liquid lip or all by itself. But so far, so good. It feels really nice on the lips. So first things first, as always, let's go ahead and prime my eyes for shadow with my MAC Paint Pot in Painterly. This is my all-time favorite eyeshadow base. I absolutely love it. I feel like it keeps my shadow in place, keeps it from creasing, settling into fine lines. Definitely my go-to. Now for the Natasha Denona palette, I'm going to do kind of a neutral base since we're pretty much limited to neutral shades. I do think I want to pop in this purple shimmer right here. I thought that swatched really, really beautifully. So I am going to start with a transition shade. I'm going to pick up the shade Beach down here in the corner, and I'm going to use that to basically set my eyeshadow primer and again serve as that transition. And since I have slightly hooded eyes, I am actually going to bring that a little bit up above my crease, just so we can see that once we apply the rest of the shadow and my eyes are open. Now this applied beautifully. It's very pigmented and it's blending out and diffusing out beautifully. One of my favorite things about Natasha Denona is her mattes. I find that they are very buttery, very blendable, very, very smooth. Now I'm going to go into this little deeper matte called Ridge, and I'm going to just buff that into my crease, not going above my crease, staying right in my crease. That way we can see our transition shade, like I said, when my eyes are open. This is also applying really nicely. It's very, very pigmented. It's not taking away from the transition shade. It is buttery smooth and beautiful. And then one more time back into Beach, I'm just going to blend and diffuse that out. And then with a slanted brush, I'm going to pick up the deeper shade called Suntan, and I'm going to just pack that into my outer corner, and that's going to give me a little bit of depth, deepen, darken up that outer corner. This is also a really pretty shade. It's about, I would say maybe 2 shades deeper than that crease, than my crease shade, and it actually is also layering and blending beautifully. That's 3 shadows layered and it's absolute perfection. No added shadow on that fluffy brush. I'm just going to kind of buff those edges. As always, my staple, along with my MAC paint pot, is my NYX glitter glue. I use this every time I do my shimmers. I feel like it keeps them in place and again, just keeps them from settling into my wrinkly, aging eyelids. So the first shimmer I'm going to use is called Bliss, and this shifts from orange to pink to gold. It's just a beautiful, beautiful shifty shade. And I'm going to apply that all over my lid. And I'm going to do that with my finger. And then, like I said, I do want to test out this purple shimmer, and we will apply that one with a brush. Shade Bliss is so beautiful. When I'm looking at it, it is pink, like pink, pink. And then when I apply it, it's shifting from pink to gold to orange. It's absolutely beautiful. Now I'm going to go into that purple matte called Rodium, and I'm going to pick that up on a brush and tap that just in the outer portion, closest to that deep, dark matte. Oh, that's pretty. That is just popping in just a titch of purple, but also adding to that deepened outer corner. We have the 2 Pear Nova shadow and liner. So this first one is a blue shade. So I'm swatching the shadow stick, and then let's swatch the liner. And then this one is a little bit more on the neutral side. It's kind of a greeny brown. Oh, interesting. So the shadow stick itself is more pinky. So there is the purple. So the blue has a purple shadow stick with a navy liner, and then we've got kind of a green leaning liner with more of a pinky shadow stick. Interesting. Interesting that they would pair pink with the green. These two make a little bit more sense. And since I did pop in that purple shimmer from the Natasha Denona palette, I think I'm going to use this Pear Nova. I think I'm going to use the blue one. I'm going to use the liner on my waterline. I do love a pop of blue on the waterline. And then because it's kind of purple leaning shimmer, I think I'm gonna pop that on top of my shadow on my lower lash line. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm not actually going to use this one. It just doesn't go with my look. And I do think it's just a weird pairing of kind of a green and a pink. Not for me. I'm not really a shadow stick girl to begin with. So we're going a little bit out of my comfort zone in the first place. So I do want to pop a shadow on my lower lash line so that we can apply that shimmery shadow stick over it and diffuse that out. So I'm going to go into Suntan, which is the shade we use on the outer corner, and I'm just going to buff a little bit of that on my lower lash line before I use that shadow stick. Then I'm going to use the shadow stick right on top and just swipe that on the lower lash line. Oh, that's pretty. It did give a pop of purple. Okay, I actually like that on my lower lash line. And then with the pencil end, which was the blue, just a bright kind of navy blue, I'm going to put that in my waterline. Okay, I'm not getting much payoff. I even swiped it on my hand again, and it's really not delivering anything into my waterline. I'm not getting anything. Okay, so let me actually use it on my lower lash line then, just to deepen that. Now I'm getting a little bit of payoff. So that is not going to work in the waterline, at least for me. So that was a bit of a fail for the waterline. I will say on the lower lash line, the shadow stick and the pencil liner worked beautifully. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think I'm going to use the more kind of green leaning liner. I'm going to try that as my eyeliner for today. Normally I'm a black liner girl, but let me see if we can get some color payoff from this. Feels nice and creamy going on. Oh, I really like that. That is really pretty as a liner. Okay, glad I made that decision. That is really beautiful. Very, very subtle pop of green, but it pairs beautifully with my more neutral look and then that pop of blue on the lower lash line. So I really, really, really like this liner in this green one a lot more than I thought that I would. That is so pretty. It's definitely subtle for me because I am such a black liner girl, but I really, really, really like it. I really like it. Let me go ahead and do a little bit of mascara, kind of finish getting ready for the day. I'll be back. We'll go over the lip oil and all of the products we tested out today. The hair went into a ponytail. I'm about to start my meal prep for the week, but let's go over some final thoughts on this testing new makeup. I'm just staying in my t-shirt for now as well. So let's go ahead and start with the lip oil. So I've been wearing this now for filming this video, finishing getting ready. It's definitely sunk into my lips a little bit more, which has hydrated my lips, but it's still there. And I do like it. It doesn't have any color to it. Virtually no scent. It just does your lips but better, but it feels really nice and hydrating. So like I said, you could wear this over a matte liquid lip. It's beautiful by itself. So far, I do enjoy this and I absolutely love lip oil, so I will continue to use this. And obviously you'll get a speed review in my empties video once this is gone that I do every single month. The Kosis Blush is a huge win. I think it's beautiful and it looks beautiful with my neutral eye look. It's just the perfect pop of pink. And like I said, if you're not a bright highlighter girl, this will give you the glowy blush look, which is a little bit more on the natural side. These surprised me. I wasn't sure that I was going to like them. Now I will say that I did not use that pinky leaning cream shadow in the green stick, but I love the green liner. I absolutely love it. I can see myself using that a lot. And both the shadow stick and the navy liner perform beautifully. However, the navy liner did 0 for my waterline. I did not try the green one in there, but I do like it as a lower lash line, and it would be pretty as a liner as well with a blue look or even a neutral look. So these surprised me. I actually enjoyed these more than I thought I would. I was honestly thinking I was going to declutter or pass these on, and now they're staying in my collection. And last but not least, the Natasha Denona palette. I don't know if you can see, but it's already covered in fingerprints. That is one thing I don't love about the packaging, is it just gets covered in fingerprints instantly, but the palette performed beautifully. I love my eye look. I think it's neutral, but it has a little bit of a twist, especially because I did pop in the blue and the green, and then I used a little bit of that beautiful purple shimmer in the outer corner. I think it performed beautifully as expected from Natasha Denona. Buttery matte, beautiful shimmers. Are they indie sparkle foiled shimmers? No, but they are beautiful and they are stunning, especially Bliss. That multi-chrome at the bottom, I can see myself actually reaching for that shade a lot. And this palette makes me excited. I want to use it again, even though it's a neutral palette. So I would say that this is a big win. And like I said, I'm not mad about getting a Natasha Denona palette in my Ipsy box. So overall, I would say we had a really, really good testing new makeup. We had some surprises. We had some tried and true products I knew I was going to love. Let me know down below, what are your thoughts on the testing new makeup? What do you think of my look? Let me know down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.